Hey guys, it's Gama Garcia here, financial and tax strategist. I help independent restaurant owners to manage cash and increase profits by using my restaurant profit maximizer system. In this video, I want to answer the question, do restaurants use the cash or the accrual method? So let's get started. Now, before you run out of the room pulling your hair and thinking that I'm going to go over boring accounting things, be assured, I'm going to try to break it down as simple as possible so you could understand the difference between cash and accrual method. So let me give you a couple of definitions for the cash basis method. So cash basis is a revenue. The revenues are recognized when cash is received, and expenses are recorded when cash is paid. Okay. On the accrual basis, revenues are recognized when earned and expenses are recognized when incurred. Okay, so then now that you have those two definitions, let me get to my board here and break it down for you. So I have it here like cross sections. So cash and accruals and accounting method, and I'll tell you why it's important to know which one you're using or which one to use in your business in a couple of minutes. So I'll break down the cash method first. It's basically two things, revenue and expenses, and it's and revenue, you record the transaction when it's received. Okay. So a customer walks in, he pays for his meal, you record it. You record it, and in the bank, so money goes in the bank when you receive that cash. Now in the books, your books is recorded as a sale. Okay, easy. Expenses, when you buy that product for that meal that you created, it's recorded as paid, right? So in the bank, money goes out, and in the books, it's recorded as an expense. Easy, cash is easy, right? Now, let's get on the accrual side. The accrual, you record the transaction when it's earned. Now, this, let's say you have a catering gig that you go out and do, or you bill that customer, but you haven't received the income yet. So what happens in the bank, nothing happens, okay? Nothing happens in the bank. On the books, your accounting books is recorded as a sale. For expenses, the expense is incurred. Two things may happen in the bank side depending on how you purchase the products. So for that gig, you might have, some products you might have paid cash from, and others you might have bought on credit. So bank, what happens on the bank side, money goes out. Bank side, nothing happens. But on the books, it's recorded as an expense. So on the books, it's, so basically what on the accrual side, your expenses, it matches with your sale. So when you have that sale, you have an accurate reading of what you spent to do that sale. On the cash side, it just happens as you receive it. So if we were to use a cash side, if you did this type of transaction and your books are cash, then what's going to happen? Your profit and loss is going to be off because you did not record, you didn't match it up to the sale. Okay, so that's basically what that happens there. Um, the main problems with when not knowing which, if you get this wrong, your profit and loss is going to be wrong. You won't know your exact position of your business. Okay, and you may have a misunderstanding of the difference between cash and profit. Many restaurant owners see their profit, but then they scratch their head at the end of the year or at the end of the month, and they don't see, they ask themselves, where did my profit go? Because I don't have that money in my bank, right? So now you know what happened. And at the end of the year, you may owe more taxes than you thought you will owe because of this, because of not selecting the correct uh, accounting method. And you will also pay more taxes because if you get this wrong, your profit and loss will be off. You'll pay more taxes, and you'll have less profits. Okay, so it's very important to get this right, correct? So ask your accountant what accounting method you're using, and make sure that it follows like this. At least it follows this structure. You know, if you're selling on credit but you're using the cash basis, something's wrong, right? So which one should you use in your business? If you're a small restaurant and barely starting off, a startup or so, the cash method, you could start off with the cash method because, you know, you're just starting off, you're buying food as it comes in, you're using it as it comes in. So there's not a lot of moving parts. So the cash method is the simplest one to use. Now, if you're growing and you have a lot of inventory, and we recommend that you track your inventory, now we recommend use the accrual method to track your food costs. So those are two ways you want to use them. So now, if you're unsure what method to use, I have set aside a couple of hours slots. If you have any questions, just click on the button below or above the video, and you could set up a strategic session with me, strategy call session with me, and we'll go over any questions you may have on this and other stuff in your restaurant. So Gamar Garcia, again, see you next time.